the year 2024, this year, one will see the hottest year in recorded history. Not only the hottest year, there are all kinds of extreme climate conditions. Extreme heat, of course, and flooding and earthquakes and all kinds of other extreme conditions have been seen to the point where people have been dying from the heat en masse all over the world. Meanwhile, countries are taking different tact in terms of addressing the extreme climate condition that is prevailing all over the world today. At least in China, the reduction of carbon emissions, the application of new and renewable sources of energy in a grand scale, these plans have been not only formulated but have been implemented. And the development of solar panels, solar power, wind power, and hydro has been rapid in China to the point where 80% of the global solar power installation is now done through China. China has installed more solar power panels, or has manufactured more than anybody else, but has installed more than the European countries combined. Now, this is significant because China is sticking to its word, its commitment made in all the international fora on climate change, on reducing carbon emissions, on using new and renewable sources of energy. But what do we see happening in the West? It's really unfortunate because the West is actually imposing duties on Chinese-made solar panels and wind power equipment and renewable sources of energy vehicles, electric vehicles, even hybrid vehicles. Now, this will make it more difficult for consumers to convert to electric vehicles. This makes it more difficult for power companies to install solar and wind power generators. This is politicizing something which is absolutely huge for the earth, for mankind, and going in the opposite direction from trying to deal with climate change, trying to deal with extreme weather conditions. I don't know what these politicians in the West are thinking about when they make it more difficult for people to have access to cheaper electric vehicles, to have access to cheaper solar power, to have access to cheaper wind power. Why are they doing this? It's politicizing it to attack China. And this has become so important to them to attack China that could potentially drive humans to extinction. It's really sad how politicians in the West have gone that far to preserve their political status. I just hope the Global South, and I believe the Global South, see it for what it is and follow the Chinese way of actually doing something about climate change